Hi, I've got my cards. Are you ready? Let's do this. Hey everyone, I know that this is long overdue. I'm not going to apologize because, life, and this is my hobby. This is my hobby. It's not a job, it's my hobby. And I like it. I read so many books since April, but not that many. There are a lot of people out there that read way more than me. So here we go. I'm going to talk to you about those books that I recently read. In May, I buddy read with my best friend a murder mystery. It was Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone by Benjamin Stevenson. So much fun. We were messaging back and forth. We had theories. We had people who was like, well, why do you think they did that? I mean, what was their reasoning for that? And hey, what was that person doing? And who was on the phone? And all those little things, all those little details. And when you thought you knew, you didn't.
We're looking at all angles. Nobody has been ruled out.
We were always thrown for a loop. It was so much fun to figure this out together. I'm hoping that we can do that again. I know that he has a second book. I would love to read that with her. I'm going to see if I can. Trace, if you're looking at this, that was a hint. That was a hint. I then coerced her into reading something a little different. And it was a sci-fi by James Islington, because she's like, ooh, the narrator. I like the narrator. It's like, okay, so let's read it. The Will of the Many is about a young man who's going to take down the hierarchy from the inside. He has reasons. He has reasons. I can't say too much because I feel that that would be spoilery. But you have this hierarchy that's almost Romanesque. And they also, in this world, are using the will and the spirit of these people to power themselves or to power things like ships and whatnot, or their cities. So there's that. Either they are willingly giving it, or they're kind of forced to, because people who are imprisoned don't, get a say. They just get used like that. So it opens up, he's actually working there as a young man, bringing in a little extra money for himself because he's got this plan. And then he sees this guy pull this prisoner up and start asking him some questions, and it's supposed to be all secret. Ends up getting kind of adopted, and then because he lives in an orphanage, and then going to his school, military type school. I can't wait for book 2. I'm so excited. I finished it. I don't know if she did. I really liked where the story is going. I can't wait to read book 2, and I gave it 4.75 blossoms. There was just so much. I'm still a little slightly confused at a couple of things, but I'm pretty sure it'll come to light in the next book. But you have to wait for the next book. It's so frustrating waiting for those next books. But there it is. While I buddy read those, I was also buddy reading with Noria and her Patreons. And we were reading Jade City by Fonda Lee, which I gave 3.5 blossoms. I wasn't as into it, I think, as others, but I did enjoy a lot of the story. It's Asian mafia, but fantasy in different ways. You have a family who has an affinity to jade. It gives them, or empowers them, that can actually wield the jade, and some others not, because it can make you super sick, basically insane. And the military kind of wants in on this. I'm finding the story interesting into where it's going, so I'm going to probably be picking up book 2 at some point, but it's not really priority because my reading took a different turn in many ways. While I was reading those, I got a little mail, and it was J.R. Ward's The Beloved. This jumps us ahead, and the kids are not kids anymore. Nala, such as Nala. This is Nala's book. So I'm sure we're going to get other books with the kids that are falling in love, including Biddy, and like Wrath Jr. So yeah, this is my candy. And just so you know, Nala is Z, in case I need to remind you. And if you know, you know. I just want you to picture the warrior Z, his baby girl, bringing home a dude. We're going to leave it at that. This was 4.75 blossoms. The next book I picked up, Empire of the Damned by J. Kristoff. This is illustrated. I love the illustrations in this book. I also love this book. I love the first one. That was 5 blossoms. This is 5 blossoms. There were a lot of explanatives at the end of it. No, not because anything bad happened or anything that I was mad about, or else it wouldn't be the 5 blossoms, but I'm just like, because I have to wait for book 3. Oh, Jay, you asshole. Just saying. We're now at June, where I read my 1 book. Why? Well, because June is a busy month. As somebody who works in preschool, I wanted to make sure that the kids had little hats for their graduation and little paper sashes that I made them that were decorated that said pre-K graduate, and they look so adorable. It was so worth it. It was worth it. I spent quite a few hours putting those things together and planning those things and just making it a really special day for them and their families. But I read Red Seas Under Red Skies by Scott Lynch. This is the 2nd book in the Gentleman Bastards, and I intend to pick up Republic of Thieves. That's the next one. So I've got it all ready for when I'm ready to sit and read it. And then, you know, after graduation and all that stuff happened with my littles, packed my bags, and as a preschool teacher, we have to say goodbye to our littles because they go off to kindergarten. Goodbyes are hard for me. So I pack my bags and I usually take off and I go and visit with a friend or a relative for a few days just to decompress. Just to decompress. I don't go very far. It's like maybe half hour, 45 minutes. But it's just a little away where we can hang out, read, veg, binge watch Bridgerton stuff, which is what we did. We binge watched Bridgerton stuff. I had my first Mediterranean pizza and I enjoyed that so much I started buying this stuff for myself and making my own variations of that at home. I then came home and started my July. I needed a buzzword book because that is what I am doing. July is measurements, so I chose I chose Desperate Measures by Katie Roberts. I wanted to know what she was all about. She is spicy AF. Wow. I am never going to be able to think of Jafar and Jasmine the same again. I also discovered that I was skimming through the spicy scenes as much as I possibly could, just getting to the story itself. And then I realized, sitting and thinking and reflecting on that I do that in a lot of those books. I don't remember, other than my JR, reading through a whole scene. And then head to the meat of the story. And I've been doing that with a lot of books. And for a very long time, we're talking more than 10 years here, that I have been doing that with my books that are spicy. I don't know what that says. Maybe that's why I enjoy those heated, just tension romances where it's off-page stuff so much more. So I can take it or leave it at this point. I did give Desperate Measures 3 blossoms. It is what it is. It's just smut. It's just smut. For some people, it might be really good schmut. But for me, it was okay. It was okay. Am I making it a priority to finish that particular villains series? No. No, I'm good. I'm good. I have been feeling this call to pick up the Sun Eater series by Christopher Roggio. So I did. I picked up Empire of Silence. I said, I'll do that. I'll check out this one book. And if I like it, maybe I'll continue the whole series. Not only did I pick that up, I immediately picked up The Howling Dark. I gave them both 4 blossoms. I enjoyed the story so much. I love Hadrian as a character. I find him super interesting. He is the one that's telling you this story. He's documenting the story of himself. And he already tells you in the very first book, on the very first page, that he has already destroyed a sun and killed billions. And what does that make him? Villain? Hero? God? What does that make him? I'm curious to find out. I'm in it for the ride. It's very Romanesque in space. Are we seeing a theme with the things that really get me? So if it's not going to be Katie Roberts that's my kink, it's definitely got to be Romanesque stuff in space. I really wanted book 3. I really wanted The Demon in White, but it wasn't available. It was going to be 21 days before I could have it. So I said, you know what, Amy? It is time to buckle down and finish Philip Chase's book, The Way of Edon. I've been reading this book since April. It became the book that just kind of sat next to the bed that I would pick up and read if I couldn't quiet my brain. That was what it became. It became just this comforting thing to pick up before going to sleep. I don't know what that says, because this world is not that comforting. There's a big war coming. There is factions of made-up religion, and one of them has decided that they're going to bring the way to the people, and if you do not submit, you die. And the person who's pushing this, they've got some interesting weaponry in the form of horrible beasts and lots of gore. There's so much gore. I think that there are maybe some morally gray characters that I kind of dig. But we also have our reluctant hero, a young man who doesn't really want this task that he's been set on. He doesn't want it. And I love his grandma, Erd. Love her. Love her. So that book, first off, was a 4.5 blossom. Loved it. Picked up the blade itself.
Wait, hold on. Back it up.
Morning. Haven't had my first cup of coffee, but I did just finish my very first Joe Abercrombie. 5 blossoms, morally gray characters, grim dark world. They're very self-deprecating because you're kind of in their heads. Logan Nine Fingers is probably my favorite out of the whole thing. So I can't wait to read the next 2 books. I have them ready to go. So it's not going to be a one and done. It's just not. At the end of July, on July 31st, my birthday, I decided you're going to make this easy for yourself. You're not going to start anything new, Amy, because Demon in White is available in the morning. So what are you going to do for your birthday? What a great present. Ryan Cahill has dropped a short story. Hold on. The Blood That Burns the Winter Snow. And I grabbed it on Kindle as quick as I could. I didn't go into it knowing what was going on or what it was about. I knew that it was only going to be a few pages. I think it was like 28, 17 pages. It got me a little choked up. Brought me back into the glade before everything happens. It was just a nice story, a little glimpse, a little family portrait of, Galen and his family, and it's his brother is there, and his mom and his sister and their dad Vars. And I'm sorry, as soon as I saw Vars' name, I got a little choked up. If you know, you know. The Bound and the Broken is an amazing series. I recommend you pick it up. I gave this short story 5 blossoms. It's short, it's small, it's tiny, it's the smallest he's ever done. If you know, you know. Ryan Cahill does not write short novels. He's got some novellas, those are short, but the novels are chunky. They are monsters, they are beasts, but they are worth it. It is worth it to pick this series up. So I highly recommend it. If you like Dragon Riders and magic, and you like beasts, and you like different peoples, giants and dwarves, and you like elves and all that stuff, I recommend it. I enjoy it so much. I would think maybe I would love to reread it at some point, but not now, not yet. I'm so glad that I read all the books that I did. I had such a good time with all of those. We're now at August 7th, and in August 7th, I have already read The Demon in White. I'm not stopping. I'm not stopping because I'm already reading the 4th book. And we'll talk about those the next time I do a video. So until then, I hope whatever you're reading or whatever you're doing this summer, you're finding lots of joy in all those really special moments. If you have family, I hope you're getting a lot of family time in before school starts for your little ones. And if you don't, I hope that you are spending time with friends and just having moments where you'll be able to be creative if you want. Whatever it is that's bringing you joy, I hope you are. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching. And until next time, bye.